So, tell you what my idea
Yes,
is. So you're coming along to our meetings.
I'm not sure yet.
What I was going to suggest is come along,
Yeah.
introduce you.
Yeah.
Why don't we have something?
Well, one of the things that will stop, say, retaining the Westbury Hospital site for healthcare use for West Wiltshire or Wiltshire-wide is that there is an acute lack of community beds in Wiltshire. I'm not sure exactly how many there are, but it's certainly less than 100 for the entire population. And intermediate care beds are virtually non-existent. And so our population, when they're ready to be discharged from acute hospitals, are either sent home too early or kept in hospital and bed blocked because they're not able to go home. If they had the facility of a step-down intermediate care bed, which is what this sort of site would be ideal for, then it would ease the situation for the acute hospitals and use a much valued asset for the community. So I wondered what your response to that might be.
Well, I absolutely agree. I think it's probably worth looking at the county and national landscape before we talk about Westbury.
Yes.
First of all, this is part of a pattern in South West Wiltshire.
Yeah.
You look at the closure of the minor injuries unit in Warminster, would be the thin end of the wedge to the diminished hospital in Warminster. It's all heading in the same direction. You look at the withdrawal of the hopper service to the north of the constituency.
Indeed.
It's all part of a withdrawal of local amenity. And this speaks to two things, I think, on the bigger political stage. First of all, the localism agenda was meant to make government more accountable to the needs of the local people. Well, do you think many local people are wildly in favour of closing this hospital? I haven't met any, have you?
No, indeed.
Everyone is furious about this. So localism from government doesn't work. And the second thing is the so-called presumption in favour of sustainable development. I think what we've seen is it's just a presumption in favour of development. Whatever we can do to flog off some land, build some houses there, let's do it. That seems to be the government's position. And I think this is just unacceptable. Now, this is a local resource. It's not owned by the NHS Property Limited. It's owned by the town, by the people of Westbury. And the fact that it's been given away by the people in Westminster, I think, is entirely wrong. So what I'd like to see is a pause. You know, can we just not do anything silly? Let's not accelerate the planning process. Let's find out what can be done. What are the options for this great site? And explore those fully and match those with the needs of the people, rather than with the needs of NHS Property Services or the government in Westminster.
Yeah. I think NHS Property Services are basically an estate agent for NHS England, and they've been given the property to sell, and they have supposedly advertised it, and I'm sure they have, but sadly they didn't feel they needed to let Westbury Community know that it was being advertised, and so we missed the opportunity then to explore health providers that may have been interested. We've since found out that there was in fact a hospice that was looking for premises and has now gone elsewhere. I wouldn't want to give anyone the impression that the CCG, the Clinical Commissioning Group, haven't got a difficult job. They have got a very difficult job. They've got a very rural population. They've got an increase in the elderly population, which is nationwide. And they've got limited resources. But I do then feel that they must listen to their community, to the people they're serving. And I think that one of the main aims of our campaign is, as you've quite rightly said, to get a pause on everything, to give us the opportunity to find an alternative health provider for the site.
Well, I think there's a secondary consideration as well. If the mandate is to get the highest value for the site, it will always be a sale. If it's purely an economic thing, it'll always be a sale, and we have to get the mandate changed so that it more accurately reflects the needs of local people. And that's not about realising economic value, that's about providing social amenity. So we have to pause, have the right conversations to make sure that the question being asked is the right one, suitably motivated, whoever the new MP may be, we'll find out soon enough. What's happened to the councillors? They seem to be caught napping as well. So we need to make sure all the right people are lined up, facing the right direction. And we need to make sure the local people are mobilised. So I don't know if you've mentioned already, but we have the Action Day this Saturday, 25th, 3 p.m. Westbury High Street. We need to get people out. So I'll certainly ask everyone who can make it, come out 3 p.m. in the sunshine, have an ice cream, and make your feelings felt.
Yes, well, there are ice creams for sale in the high street.